Hey, do you like football? Because we do. Welcome to That's Okay. Caleb, Zach, and Joe. We're going to talk about some stuff for you guys today. We're going to go over some, the NFL Honors was last night. We got the Super Bowl today. Everybody's excited about it. And we're going to talk about some free agency coming up in 2018.
It's true. We're recording this podcast on February 4th, Super Bowl Sunday. Earlier in the morning.
Yep.
So we're going to be talking Super Bowl predictions and previews, things like that. But this is our fourth football podcast.
Probably.
Jeez.
So I think
11th.
this means that 50%, or maybe just under 50% of all
We're
of our
officially
podcasts.
a sports podcast.
We are officially a sports podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But we're not going to tag ourselves as such because we like to talk about other stuff. Anyway, cool. So NFL Honors is one of my favorite parts of the season, besides like football. Football is just great, but I think it's really cool that the night before the Super Bowl, they have just like a big, like, the Grammys of football, or whatever big award show you want to like equate it to. But I think it's really cool because you get to see like all the players and some of their family, and they all come out and they just like, it's like, we are all friends. We don't have to hit each other as hard as we possibly can. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is great. But anyway, they have a ton of awards that they give out for different things, and I'm just gonna I have the list right here. I'm gonna scroll down this list, and if there's anything that sort of pops out, we'll talk about it, and if not, we'll move on to the next one. Mm-hmm. So the first award is apparently the awards are sponsored too. Like the individual awards are sponsored. I wasn't aware of that.
Really?
Right.
So
NFL trying to make money off awards? You're kidding me.
I don't
the
believe that
offensive
the
rookie
NFL
of the year is Pepsi, isn't it?
Pepsi Rookie of the Year
Yeah, see.
goes to the New Orleans Saints running back Alvin
I
Kamara.
100% agree. I think he's done a lot for them. Drew Brees has only had to make like 11 good throws this year instead of 8 million like they usually ask out of him.
Well, like, who would... Sorry to interrupt. Who would be another contestant for it? Was it McCaffrey? Could he have been a contestant for it?
I was thinking more Hunt if he would have stayed hot. Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, Kareem Hunt, if he would have stayed hot. Deshaun Watson, if he would have
yes,
stayed
Deshaun
healthy.
Watson.
He would have had that just
He'd have had that in the bag.
by leaps and
Yeah.
bounds for what he did for that football team.
So it was all about Kamara staying healthy and Kamara at least being relevant.
Yeah.
Even on a team that has more.
The NFL is
And that's the
really...
thing right there is Alvin Kamara shared that backfield.
Yeah.
He's not a Todd Gurley. He's not a Kareem Hunt where like he is the lead back. He's honestly
He was the pass catching back.
Yeah, he's the second man in the lineup
And so
as
was
far as that
McCaffrey.
running field.
But I think the NFL is slowly moving to you're a running back, but you're really a slot receiver who just lines up in the backfield, and
Right.
we're going to use you however we want.
Mm-hmm.
It really opens up an offense, and the Patriots have been using it for years, and everybody else is finally catching on.
The Patriots have 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Rex Burkhead, congratulations.
Mm-hmm.
for being relevant for
Dylan
4
Lewis.
games.
Yeah.
Those 4 games. What games? All right, cool. The next award was the FedEx Air and Ground Players of the Year.
Wow.
So I guess this is like tandem for quarterback and running back for a team. And it went to the Philadelphia Eagles, Carson Wentz, and Todd Gurley. Which, as far as like dangerous duos, the only other one I would think of would be like Drew Brees and like Mark Ingram. But I think that's solid. I think if Carson Wentz would have stayed healthy, he could have probably won MVP, honestly. I mean, Carson Wentz just had a phenomenal year this year.
He was on pace to break the touchdown record in a year, so.
Was he really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That's insane.
Yeah. And then Todd Gurley, like, he carried the Rams.
Oh, Lord.
Like, where we play fantasy football, he had, 5 40-point games? Like, that's 3+ touchdown
If you play fantasy
games.
and Todd Gurley's not your first overall pick, smack somebody.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shame.
Well, you still have Antonio Brown.
You still have Antonio Brown, but even that, like, he didn't get nearly as many touches this year as he did last year. I say that. That's probably an over-exaggeration.
Mm-hmm.
But it seemed like last year every other pass was going to Antonio Brown.
Plus, they got Juju Smith now, who's...
Yeah, Juju Smith, he's like, 18 years old? 19 years old when he went into the league?
20.
That makes me sick.
Yeah.
Like,
He is our age.
Yep.
Or my age. He's younger than you.
He's younger than me, which is stupid.
Congrats,
But,
Juju.
yeah, good. You know what?
Good for you, man.
Hey, you were on my fantasy roster, and I played you on the reg.
He had
so
a
love
Dragon
him.
Ball Z touchdown celebration. It was pretty cool.
He had the best touchdown celebrations. I hope that's a category. It's probably not. All right. The defensive player of the year goes to Los Angeles Rams defensive tackle Aaron Donald.
Okay.
I mean, that's
Okay.
solid.
Good for him.
Okay. Yay.
Yep. The Salute to Service Award was to the Atlanta Falcons wide receiver Andre Roberts.
Who?
Andre Roberts.
Like what? Who? Is
He's
that?
probably like the 5th or 6th string
Right.
wide receiver for the Atlanta Falcons.
Got nothing better to do but to be that kind of guy.
Hey, I mean, at
Good
least
for
somebody's
him,
out there
yeah.
doing it. Yeah, exactly. All right, so Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to Alvin Kamara again. So he won Rookie of the Year and Offensive Rookie of the Year.
If
Well-
you win Rookie of the Year, shouldn't you automatically win Offensive Rookie of the Year?
I mean,
unless
unless
you
you're
were
on
a
defense.
defensive player, then you win the Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean
'Cause-
that's
But
pretty
so
solid.
is the next one defensive rookie of the year?
No,
Oh darn. Okay.
you're getting ahead of me here. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So the next one is Offensive Player of the Year, which is
Dun, dun, dun. Alvin Kamara.
no.
Offensive Player of the Year.
Yeah.
Is
Carson
that,
Wentz.
No, is that Brady?
No, it's Todd Gurley.
Oh, it's Todd
Oh,
Gurley.
yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that is actually that. Why didn't I think of Gurley first?
Yeah.
that makes a lot of
How
sense.
many touchdowns do you have? Like 75?
Too many.
He had a ton of touchdowns. That guy, like, he's so funny because his first year in the league, he did the exact same thing he did this year. He was just a sensation, did amazing. And then his second year, it was like, oh,
Yeah.
I guess he ain't much, are you, boy? And
Well,
then
this
he
year
comes
they have
back
a-
and he's like,
This year they have a
Told you what
passing
it was.
attack again, so they're not like loading up the box and just like,
Yeah.
come on, girl.
but their passing attack is with Jared Goff, who literally had the exact same issue where he was like crap last year, and then this year it's like, oh, sorry,
He was a rookie last
I
year.
didn't realize that you all didn't realize that I'm like one of the best quarterbacks in
Yeah.
the league right now.
Mhm.
And then, but like they have a bunch of, I guess Sammy Watkins is one of their wide receivers now. They got Robert Woods, but I mean those are like not a bunch of
Cooper Kupp.
high profile Cooper Cup
But they
wide
will be.
receivers.
Well,
Yeah.
if they had an offense like say if they got the offensive coordinator for the Patriots
Mm-hmm.
and they had those kind of plays, I think that wide receiving core could be 12 times better, and
Yeah.
Jared Goff is the quarterback that they would need to throw
Yeah.
it to those open receivers.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know how they.
Expect the
How they
Rams to
did
be
that.
good next year.
Yeah, wow. It
And
probably,
they were good this year.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
just a travesty they can't play a playoff game.
Isn't that a curse?
It's something.
Ever
That
since
makes
Warner.
no sense to me.
Yep.
Man, I don't even know what this award is. So it's called Game Changer Award, presented by Secret.
Oh boy.
Sam Gordon. Doesn't say what team he plays for,
Oh,
but whoever
congratulations,
Sam
Sam.
Congratulations.
I'm probably
yeah.
gonna be like, oh yeah, Sam Gordon, I know him.
Yeah.
Defensive
job.
Rookie of the Year goes to New Orleans Saints. Apparently, the Saints
Dude,
just
I
had
was
the
gonna
best
say,
players
the
this
Saints
year.
had a draft season right here.
Yeah.
They knew what they were doing.
Marshawn Lattimore, their cornerback, or their rookie cornerback, Marshawn Lattimore.
Can we just talk about how great it is to see New Orleans Saints defense doing something ever since Tracy Porter?
That they had such a good season this year.
Other than whiff in the playoffs against the Vikings. That last catch.
Okay, we're not
That
going to talk about that.
that was a miracle. That the Vikings were meant to go get blown out by the Eagles.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, yeah.
that's all that meant, because there is
Yeah.
no way that catch ever happens.
So close to having a home Super Bowl. Anyways.
Yeah. They were not close. I mean,
Well,
they got
they
close.
were one game
to
away,
having a
but
chance,
they were one game away.
They were one
but-
game away, but about 7 touchdowns.
Yeah, 7 touchdowns too late. Yeah.
Mhm.
But yeah, Saints defense did great. They actually had
Yeah.
turnovers and points. And
You had the Saints defense on your fantasy for the
yeah, I
longest
did.
time.
They were good too.
Mhm.
I'll just scroll through this. The Pro Football Hall of Fame class for 2018. I guess these are the nominees. I don't think these are the inductees, but it's Bobby Beathard. He's a general manager. Robert Brazil, linebacker. Brian Dawkins, safety. Jerry Kramer, guard. Ray Lewis, linebacker. Randy Moss, wide receiver. Terrell Owens, wide receiver, and Brian Urlacher, linebacker.
So I'm going to go with
Okay.
Urlacher, Moss, and Lewis.
Literally the last 4 names on that list.
Yeah.
Wait, what about Lewis?
Ray Lewis?
Yeah, Lewis. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
Ray Lewis.
thought you said last 4, and I heard Terrell Owens in between all of them. I was like, Owens?
Yeah.
I don't think he deserves to.
No.
win that.
He might make it
He-
eventually, but probably not.
He's still claiming that he is fit to be a football player right now.
Yeah, he had like a viral thing earlier this season about like how he's gonna try and make a comeback.
Mhm.
I think you should
Maybe
enjoy
he can play in the
retirement.
XFL.
There you go,
Maybe.
make some money.
Maybe
That's what I would do.
Kaepernick might be in there too.
Dude, what if Peyton Manning comes back?
No.
Peyton Manning's coaching the Tennessee Vols in 3 years.
Oh my
never.
gosh.
He's been trying to make this case for a while.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Oh, he's not going to do it.
Just, I'm holding on.
I don't think Peyton
You got
Manning
faith
should
in
be
your
a
Peyton?
coach.
Mhm.
He needs to go get in the booth with
With Tony Romo.
With Tony Romo.
Yeah, he does.
I would watch every game.
Yep. We all
Offensive line of the year goes to the Philadelphia Eagles.
That's
Wow,
fair.
big surprise. They,
Yeah.
Not at all, actually. They killed it this
Yep.
year.
Yep. The Art Rooney Sportsmanship Award goes to Carolina Panthers linebacker Luke Kuechly. So
Yep.
Luke Kuechly's just a good guy on and off the field, apparently.
Well, good for him.
Comeback Player of the Year goes to Keenan Allen.
Yep.
Which, I mean, good for him.
You have to have a very set amount of requirements to qualify for that award. And Keenan Allen had some of the best last 4 games
Yeah.
that anyone's ever had, so I think that's the reason why.
Yeah. Well, and if the Titans, if I remember correctly, if the Titans would have lost in week 17, the Chargers are in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So they were fighting for every inch they could get, but when the Titans won, it just knocked
Right.
everybody out.
Can I make a point
Unfortunately.
about how the heck Philip Rivers is still playing and how he's still playing?
Oh, you mean
at
Philip
least
can't
okay?
buy a Super Bowl ring on eBay?
I understand that, but like I can't believe he's still playing well.
He is-
but I can't
yeah,
believe he's
he's-
I
still
can't
he's a
believe
good
he stayed
quarterback.
in San Diego, man.
Yeah.
Because that, like,
Poor guy.
San Diego.
for him to be as...
San Diego.
What?
San Diego.
Aren't they still... Oh, they're the Los Angeles Chargers.
Yeah.
Oh, so sad.
Bunch of teams.
Why do you have
moving
two
and
teams in
nonsense.
one bowl?
I'm a
That
Houston
makes sense.
Oilers fan.
Dude, the Houston Titans are the best team in the world. I don't know what you're talking
And
about.
they're Houston Titans.
Yeah. But if I like, he's such a like ferocious competitor. Like he is angry.
He's
when
arguably
he
one
is-
of the most accurate quarterbacks out there, too.
Yeah.
And he's just like
And he plays
not had a
angry.
team around him in a long
Yeah,
time.
like I can't believe he's been able to stay there that long. I would have been like, I'm going somewhere else. Like
And
y'all
maybe
go.
just-
Like,
Maybe he just likes being on the West Coast.
Who
I'm-
was
maybe he
his
does.
head coach? Whenever they were still in San Diego, they were their head coach that took them to the playoffs a lot, but they always lost in the playoffs. Who was that?
did Andy Reid coach that team?
No,
That's who I was actually thinking, so I don't know.
no, not.
I don't know.
I think it was I don't
Google.
know. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, he's been to the playoffs plenty of times, but he's always lost. I think he's lost. I think he's probably won one playoff game.
Eagles, Rams.
Eagles, Rams. Anyway, continue, Zach.
All right. Assistant coach of the year goes to the Vikings offensive coordinator Pat Shurmur.
Good for him.
Good for him.
Honestly, that offense killed it this
Yeah,
year.
it's
And
They
been-
to
absolutely
have had
killed
3
it.
different quarterbacks this year,
Yeah.
and still to do that well.
Mhm.
Props to the quarterback coach then as well
Yeah.
for Minnesota. Like he had 3 really good 3 quarterbacks that had the potential
To
to
be
be
really
good
good.
quarterbacks, and
Yeah.
he was able to coach all 3 of them very well.
Yeah, true. The clutch performance of the year goes to New Orleans Saints Drew Brees for something. I'm
Why
sure.
does wait clutch performance?
Apparently he had a really clutch
If
performance.
you don't give that award to Marcus Mariota for catching his own touchdown pass,
Whatever.
True story.
one game, but wait, really? Why not Brady? Why not Brady in that regard? What is a
I don't
clutch
know.
performance? I don't
Why
know
why
what the-
not everyone who played the
So-
Cleveland Browns who almost lost to them this year?
Titans?
we could make
Yep.
an Adam Vinatieri.
Ryan Suckup. That should have.
Yeah, Ryan
Yeah.
Suckup. Graham
Oh
Gano.
jeez, whatever. You're just naming off your kickers.
Yep.
All right. The Bridgestone Elite Performance Play of the Year goes to what?
Stephon Diggs.
Incorrect. The Minnesota Miracle, aka Stephon Diggs.
Oh,
I love that
wow.
it's called the Minnesota Miracle.
That's
That's
hilarious.
great.
But that was
Should be the
just
Minnesota.
going back on that moment. That moment,
Yeah.
I will never forget. I will
We
never
were
forget.
That was
Literally-
nuts.
We were sad that we'd given up on that game.
Yeah.
We were playing Call of Duty, and
Yeah.
you messaged in the group chat, and you were like,
Yep.
"What, that game?" We were like, "Well, I
Yeah.
guess we should see what the game's
Yeah.
like."
flipped it
just
over, and they were just like
barely saw
replay
it.
after replay
Yeah.
after replay. And we were like, what?
I wish I could have listened to Joe Buck call that live.
Oh,
I was
yeah.
only able to. I think I've told you this story. I was sitting in a car
Mm-hmm.
on my way back from San Antonio, and we were just checking the score, and we realized Minnesota was going to lose, or we thought so. And then while we're sitting there, just kind of like, oh man, it's good to see that the Saints are gonna, try and make it back to the Super Bowl. And then out of nowhere, the guy in the back just goes, oh no. No. 61-yard touchdown pass to Stephon Diggs. Time expires, and I'm like, what? I just like freak out in the car, and I'm like, we have to see what happened. And oh boy,
that was definitely an amazing play. It has to be one of the best plays of all time.
Yeah, even though 90% of it was a cornerback making one of the biggest errors he's ever made
no doubt.
in his career.
Yeah.
Which is trying to
go low on a guy who's jumping in the air.
Yeah, go low on a guy who's jumping in the air.
There's no time. Okay. I'm not even going to say we could probably, if he makes the tackle, then he's the best cornerback in the world. So I'm not even going to say anything.
Yeah, because if he had hit him where he was going, then he would have stayed in bounds, and then Minnesota had no timeouts. So.
Yeah, true. Okay, so next one, I don't know who this guy is, but it's the Don Shula. Go Don Shula. NFL High School Coach of the Year award. Rob Garrett for Crenshaw High School.
Hey man,
congrats.
Good for him.
Small town.
He's literally the best high school football coach in the nation.
Apparently.
AKA.
Oh, it's that high
tens
school.
of thousands.
Come on, NFL. Come
on,
hire
Is
this
that high
guy.
school in Hawaii that Marcus Mariota and Tua Tagovailoa came out of?
No, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not at all. All right. Greatness on the Road award goes to Houston Texans quarterback Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Oh.
Which, gosh, I wish he would have finished the season. Man, he would have. Texans could have made such a deep run, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if that defense could have held up, but offense was.
They would have won the AFC
fire.
South because they were bringing it to.
They
stuffed the Titans that first game. Mariota didn't play, but I have a feeling that if Mariota still would have played, it would have been a lot closer. But I think they still would have won.
Mm-hmm.
He's gonna do good things in Houston. Actually, wherever he goes, I guess. But
I hope he comes back from this injury unfazed.
Yeah.
Coach of the Year goes to Los Angeles Rams coach Sean McVay, which I think is fantastic.
Good for him. Yeah, he turned around the organization.
And he's the youngest coach in the NFL. Mm-hmm. He's the best looking coach in the NFL.
Oh, wow.
And the thing that blows my mind is he is the head coach of that team, but he calls all the plays on offense too. So anytime the offense is on the field, like when you watch their games, he's always like out there like calling plays, and then when his defense is on the field, he's sitting down reviewing what he's going to do in his next series.
He's just
like, it's the most nutty thing ever. Like, he has an offensive coordinator, but he's like, no, I'm calling the plays. I'm doing that.
He's got his like play card, but it's actually like a twister spin wheel, and it's just split halfway between hand the ball to Todd Gurley and throw the ball to Todd Gurley. He just spins it, looks at it, and just like, hey, we're gonna hand the ball to Todd Gurley. He's 32, but still.
Oh goodness! All right, last two awards. We'll save most valuable player for last. But my favorite award, and the thing that I really, really love about the NFL honors, is the Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year award. And this year, it went to J.J. Watt, which I think is incredibly deserving. I mean, I agree. Like, he went leaps and bounds over everyone else, just in terms of like the publicity he got from it, because he was trying to raise like what $250,000 and raised over $37 million for
in the course of like a week.
Yeah, in like Hurricane Harvey relief or whatever it was.
Yep.
How's he doing with his injury? Does anybody know?
I don't know, but I hate that he's that fragile.
Yeah, he can never finish a season.
So here's the thing. He is argued to be a Hall of Fame inductee, but he's like not finished a single season.
Yeah.
It's like he's really good when he's there, and whenever he's on the field, the other team's running yards are like 0.3 per attempt. It's like terrible, but he's just 6 games a season.
It's like if Gronk ended his career this season, could you make an argument for him to be in the Hall of Fame? You really couldn't.
No.
He's been out more than he's been in, but when he was in, Brady always targeted
him and Brady are like third most in like tandem touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you could probably still make a case for it, but he's also the only wide receiver or the only tight end that gets away with pushing off every single
time.
play.
Yeah.
Anyways.
But all that to be said, I think J.J. Watt's very deserving. I think Peyton Manning presented it this year. I don't know.
Good for him.
Yeah, but I think that's just a great award because they really do take time to like shine light on like all the stuff that these players are doing outside of the game. So like showing
Right.
how they're in their communities, what they're doing for their foundations, research, charity, like the whole 9 yards. And I didn't get to hear J.J. Watt's speech, but usually like whoever the recipient is always like has a very strong speech like for acceptance and then challenge, where he's like, hey, you know, I'm not going to stop here, so you don't stop here.
Right.
Like,
Good on
keep
JJ
pushing,
Watt.
keep giving more and more and more, and keep making the communities that you all play in the best communities you can, and all this other stuff. I think it's great. I think it's wonderful. I would like to see more light, you know, shown on things like that, because I think, you know, the media wants the scandal. They want to see the bad things. They want to glorify the stuff that these players get into when they get in a fight at a bar or something like that. And there's, for every one incident like that, there's
Zeke.
there's 10
Oh.
other players who are in a hospital or in a homeless shelter or,
Yeah.
you know, doing something that's actually making a difference in their communities.
Dude, shout out to the Eagles. Their stadium is like 3 feet from a hospital.
Yes. So that reminded me, speaking of the Eagles, I think it's Chris Long is like one of their guards or tackles on one of their lines. He donated his entire salary this year to, like, the first 6 games were to his high school, I think, or like his high school community, something like that. And then the rest of his paychecks were to the other 3 cities that he's played in.
That's cool.
Like, he literally made no money this year.
They probably did okay.
Nike, he probably has a contract with somebody, but he's okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, he has more money than he'll ever know what to do with just based off of
Right.
his career up to now.
Yeah.
But, I mean, like, that's awesome that he was like, I literally, like,
Oh, yeah.
I could literally not work another day in my life. So, since I'm just playing this game, like, I'm going to give all my money this year away. And, like, yeah, he gets a sponsor deal or whatever, but, I mean, like, still, the Eagles are paying him good money.
Yeah.
You
Good
know?
good for him. Also, good on J.J. Watt to use his time wisely. And even though he doesn't play in the NFL that often because he's hurt a lot.
Yeah.
I hope that this just brings him more fame and it brings him more contracts with more people to make sure that he's okay money wise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because bills for hospitals are not fun, and especially when you're the guy who keeps getting hurt and having surgeries done on you.
Yeah.
It can get expensive, and I hope he stays well off all throughout the rest of his life because
Yeah.
of what he did for the NFL.
Right. I completely agree.
And now, for the award that we did not even need a committee for,
Yeah.
arguably.
The most valuable player
Boo.
for this previous season
Can we
is...
hold on. Before we say who it is, everybody knows who it is.
Right.
But can we say who we think deserved it?
Carson Wentz if he would have stayed healthy.
No, there is no ifs. It's just
Grr.
who. Who deserved it this season that's not TB12?
Todd
Man.
Gurley.
I think Todd Gurley is a
strong. I think without Todd Gurley on that Los Angeles Rams team, I think that team is. I mean, they still have a really good defense, but I
Who's-
don't think
who's
that
the backup?
defense gets worn out because the offense can't stay on the field.
Does anybody know who the backup running back is?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of us know like the number 1 and number 2 guys for most every team, but for the Rams, it's like you got Todd Gurley, and if he goes out, put the kicker in.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I mean, outside of Todd Gurley, I can't really.
I think if AB had 1 or 2 more good games, he really could have been like a big contender for
he
it.
could have made
Right.
it.
I also think the same thing about Le'Veon Bell. Getting that many carries and that much
Yeah,
attention on a
I
team
agree.
takes
I
a
still
lot.
don't understand how the Steelers don't win every single Super Bowl. They've got like 4 phenomenal athletes on offense, and they just like cannot pull a game together.
They
Yeah.
just trade away. They trade away James Harrison. I mean,
Yep.
you know, it's
Yeah.
weird. It's very weird. But Le'Veon Bell, Todd Gurley are good arguments.
Mm-hmm.
Did Tom Brady do enough this season?
See, I
Did he have a hard game?
don't think Tom Brady
Yeah, I had him on my fantasy lineup, so I know.
Brady is just the
dude,
fourth quarter king.
Most valuable player, because he literally won the last 6 games for them. Jimmy Garoppolo. Literally, that team doesn't win until that man steps on the field.
He's not lost.
It's really funny. If he had played the whole season and he kept playing like that, yeah, he probably would have been MVP.
Yeah,
he
but
probably would have been MVP over Carson Wentz or Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
Look
but
what
I mean,
he's
like,
doing.
literally, wins every single game he starts once he gets there. Tom Brady can literally be out. See, what makes the Patriots so good, I don't think is Tom Brady. Now, don't get me wrong. I think Tom Brady is definitely a fantastic quarterback, arguably one of the greatest quarterbacks. That's fine, whatever. The thing that makes the Patriots so good is not Tom Brady. The thing that makes Patriots so good is the system. And the best evidence for that is how many running backs do they have?
I have 4.
How much turnover is in that backfield?
There's a lot of turnover.
A ton of turnover.
That's how they are.
And they
every
just
position.
they just bring him in. It's like, hey, you haven't got a brain concussion yet? Get in here. Come
They
on.
rotate,
run
like,
this ball.
8 offensive linemen through.
Yeah.
They like.
It's
there's-
not.
If that was not enough evidence, the second Super Bowl that Tom Brady won with Bill Belichick, they had 9 starters out.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not like Tom Brady just has this like whole cloud around him where people have just like elevated him to be this like amazing goat, the
He
greatest
is.
of all time.
Well,
And
yeah.
he's not. Like he's just not. Like there's so much other stuff that goes into that team.
Right.
Like Tom Brady
It doesn't-
can't
it-
scramble out of the pocket. He can't go throw a block. He's not athletic. He's not like
Right.
he's old.
He knows
he can
the game
throw the ball.
Well, that's
so
the
well.
thing. Well, I would say the same argument about Peyton Manning.
Exactly.
He just knows
I
the
agree.
game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's their
Neither
football
of those two
IQ is
teams-
literally genius level football IQ.
Neither of
They
those
just
two teams,
know how to
or
play
neither
the
of those
game.
two players, make it to the Super Bowl with Cleveland.
No.
You're right.
The only reason Peyton Manning gets or wins his second Super Bowl is because he literally has the best defense.
And
in the
both of these
last
players
decade.
go, "Hey, I'm going to go ahead and take $6 a year from you guys. Will you please use that extra money and give me an offensive line so I don't have to go get my back fixed 3 times this season?" Like,
Right.
Well, and also to your point about that they can't go to Cleveland and fix that team taking the Super Bowl. Who can?
I mean, you're right.
You need to. You need to fully reset that
Kirk
team.
Cousins.
All right, don't get ahead of us.
Anyway,
Don't get ahead of us.
so
Anyway, I don't think because I was upset at last year's Super Bowl when the Patriots won and they gave Tom Brady the Super Bowl MVP.
yeah,
I think
which
this
James White deserves.
James White 100% deserved that.
How many touchdowns did he have that game?
He had 3
3.
touchdowns. He
Over
had
100 yards.
over 100 some odd yards.
Yep.
Like he carried that team. If James White is not on the field for that game, like I don't think they win it. Like
That's
that
true.
boy
Well,
wanted that win.
One person did make the game winning play,
Edelman.
which was Edelman.
I
But
was saying,
without Edelman,
and
they
the
wouldn't have
Patriots
won.
have made it to the Super Bowl without him this year. Like that,
Yeah,
just,
Julian Edelman
but
has
just
been
proving
gone
the
since-
point that they have like so many people they can just shuffle into their offense
Right.
and it works.
Yeah, that organization is going to be okay for quite a while
Gosh
if they
dang.
keep Belichick. But on that note, Belichick and Brady and Robert Kraft era might end sometime soon
Man, I
because
hope so.
one of them is going to get tired of working with the other because of the whole Garoppolo thing that happened. Belichick is upset. Robert Kraft is upset that Garoppolo
Well,
was
and they
even
lost
taken,
Jacoby Brissett as well.
and they lost Jacoby
And they're
Brissett.
about to lose all of their coaching staff.
Yeah.
And they're about to lose all their coaching staff, and Brady is close
Man.
to really, he's really close to
I
having
bet
to
you.
retire.
I bet you he.
Also, Tom Brady
But
won
he is-
MVP,
Yeah.
even though we didn't.
Oh
Well,
yeah,
I
it was,
said it.
oh
I
yeah,
said
it was
Team
Tom
12.
Brady.
I said
it was
Team
Tom
12.
Brady.
But,
If you're wondering.
But yeah, the dynasty is coming
Yes.
to an end.
Comes crashing down.
Quotation marks, maybe.
Not really end. It's more of Brady, Belichick,
Mhm.
and the Patriots offense. One of those 3 things is going to fall.
Yeah.
And I think it's
At
going
least.
to be the Patriots offense going down, then Brady going,
Yeah.
and then Belichick is going to try rebuilding it from there.
Yeah.
You don't know. Maybe. I mean, I'm sure Brady knows way more about it than we do at this point.
Mm-hmm.
He could see this happening, and he could say, "You know what? After tonight, I don't play another game of football."
You
Yeah.
never know. He has his TB12 brand going on.
And
That's
Bill
another
Belichick could
thing.
do the same thing. Like
Yeah.
he could just be tired of it at this point. I don't know.
I think he
The man,
don't
already
think
is.
so.
The man is a robot.
Yeah.
Both of them are robots.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. How can a 40-year-old be doing? Brady is healthy.
Mhm.
Like he's great,
Right.
and now, like, I don't know.
Have you
I don't
ever,
know
like,
how he's continuing.
He
to
has
do this.
he has a book. I think it's called QB12. It's like his entire diet and like really accurate detail on like his workout regimens and everything. And it's all like resistance bands and like he take your body weight, cut it in half. That's how many ounces of water he drinks like every day. Like he makes his own like avocado ice cream. He eats like 400 pounds of lean chicken every year. It's like
He has a beautiful wife, beautiful
too.
kids.
Yep.
Good for him.
he has a couple of cool rings, I think.
What we're trying to say is, whenever Brady goes out of the NFL, he's going to be okay.
He will be okay.
But
Oh,
speaking
yeah.
of going out of the NFL, let's talk about who's going out of their teams into this thing we call free agency.
It's true.
So,
Kirk Cousins.
Wait. Before we get to that, Super Bowl. Who's
oh
gonna
yeah, wait, who's gonna win the Super Bowl?
We all know who's gonna win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Rams.
All right. Okay. Who's going? Gosh, dang it!
Eagles,
Are you kidding
Rams.
me?
Eagles,
What was it
Rams.
that Laurel said last week?
Broncos Colts.
Broncos Colts. That was the best Super Bowl literally ever of all time. Okay. All right. Two different scenarios. Who's going to win?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you want to win? What are the scores for those two games?
I want the Eagles to win. I think if you are not a diehard Patriots fan,
Yeah.
you hate the Patriots.
I
think
it's
that
like
is-
those maps that you see on Facebook. It's
It's
like
literally you are either like one of the people that's like, oh, everybody's just a hater. We got the GOAT, bro. Cool. Like, I'm glad that the team that you picked either last year or 700 years ago is the best.
Mhm.
Or you're like me and you're like, yeah, I like the Eagles. They're okay, but like when it comes to Super Bowl time, you're like, okay, I'm the most diehard Eagles fan ever.
Yep.
Because I do not want. And it's not like Tom Brady's like a standout guy. Like he's like diehard Republican. Like he's all these like things that I stand for. But like just seeing a dynasty like that, I'm like,
You
I
want the
want
dynasty
it to be
fall.
brought down.
Yep.
Because
So-
it's been so relevant for so long.
So
Yeah.
if the Eagles can put on their Giants uniforms and I almost said every team to ever beat Brady in the Super Bowl. The Giants were really good at putting pressure on Brady. He's like we said, he's not the most athletic quarterback in the world. So if you can get him flustered, get him out of the pocket, or just keeping pressure on him as much as possible, that's the only way you beat Brady. Also, you can't let Brady have the ball ever in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The only way they win is
You
they
have to have
have
15 minutes of ball possession in the
Yeah.
fourth quarter.
Yeah. Oh, you have to be up by 3 touchdowns going into the last minute of the fourth quarter,
Yep.
and you have to have the ball.
Mm-hmm.
If Derek Barnett has 4.5 sacks tonight, then that's really the only way I see this game going well for the Eagles.
So you're what were
I
the three things again?
want the Eagles to win, but I think, and I'm probably going to throw up when it happens, I think Tom Brady's going to do it again. He's going to get his 5th ring, and he's going to... Is it a
No,
6th ring?
6th ring.
Oh,
He's-
my
He's
Lord.
getting another finger grafted onto that hand so he can have it all on one hand.
Well, congratulations to him.
What's the score going to be?
Oh, I want it to be close. I want it to be a fourth quarter drive, just because you see it
Well, what do
happening,
you-
and you're like, okay,
Yeah.
Brady.
Well, what
We'll
do you
say 28-21.
Patriots?
Yeah,
That's fair.
Zach.
Eagles will go up first though. Be like 14-0.
Yeah.
They're gonna pull a Jacksonville. They're gonna get an early lead, and then the
Gosh.
Patriots figure out their
They're
way.
gonna pull
Man.
everyone that ever plays against.
I had no idea Tom Coughlin was still was a part of the Jaguars, but good on him for pushing the
Man.
Patriots that
Well,
far. But anyway,
Bortles.
go ahead, Zach.
Hey,
biggest-
he was okay.
Hey,
The
gosh.
last
He
4 games.
tried. Leonard Fournette did pretty well that game too, but
It's unbelievable they got to the AFC Championship to begin with, but the fact that they lost in that fashion was just the worst thing ever.
Yeah, that
like,
game
I would have
was-
preferred them get blown out, like the...
I would have loved to have seen a
Vikings.
Minnesota Jaguars Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would've
that'd
been
be amazing.
I think that's what we all want.
Yeah.
But anyway. So, who do I want to win? Eagles. Who's going to win? Eagles.
Woo.
So, I agree. I think the Eagles go up first because I think Bill Belichick's whole thing is like, I'm going to make a game plan, but then I'm not going to execute it because I'm going to watch you and see what your game plan is.
He waits
And
till
then in the
halftime.
second quarter, it's going to be like, hey, by the way, you literally just are going to sit there on the sidelines while I run this ball up and down the field.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Eagles go up early. That Eagles defense is so good. I thought the Jags were the only ones that had the defense to be able to get to Brady, and they did, but they did what the Falcons did last year, and they just got worn out. So I think if the Eagles can pace their defense, like make sure they're rested, keep them fresh and focused in the game for all 4 quarters, and not just get a high through quarters 1 through 2 or 3 and then give up in the 4th.
28-3.
I think they can pull it out. The Patriots defense is it's a top 10 defense, but it's nothing great, I would say. So I think Nick Foles is able to put some points on the board. So I'm gonna guess that they can put up 24 points, and I'm gonna say Steven Gostkowski's got to get out on the field some. So I'm gonna say it's probably 20. So I'm gonna say 24-20 Eagles over Patriots.
I hope.
Can I ask, are you banking on the Eagles ending the game kneeling, like Tom Brady's not going to get a chance to drive?
That's
or
the
do you
only
think
way
the
you win.
Eagles...
I mean, that is honestly
That is
the only way you win.
Within 1 touchdown.
Yeah, I think... Because I think the Eagles defense gets winded in the 4th quarter because they're going to be playing their hearts out, trying to keep points from getting on the board. I think they get winded. So I think it's going to fall to one last stop, and then the Eagles having to go out there and get a couple of first downs.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go a little bit different. I think that the Patriots are going to win. I want the Eagles to win, but the score is going to be really low. I think Nick Foles is not going to have the game of his life. I think Brady's going to get pressured really hard today, and I think that the Eagles' defense is going to hold strong in a lot of ways. And because they don't have many answers other than Brady, even though they have 4 running backs,
right?
I don't think James White can carry the Patriots again to a million points like he did before. I think it's going to be a game full of small plays. They're going to get a lot of field goals, but it's going to be a close one. In the end, I think it's going to be Patriots maybe 15, maybe 16, like a really odd score, and the Eagles get a touchdown and a field goal, so 10.
Okay.
Because that's just all based on, I think that Nick Foles will choke.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't want it to happen.
Yeah.
No.
I like all 3 of us here. I used to be a diehard Patriots fan. It was in 2007 when they had the undefeated season when the whole Spygate thing came out, where I was kind of like, this is really shitty.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that was when you just kind of start, and then scandal after scandal after scandal, and you're just like, this just doesn't feel right. So my heart wants me to root for the Patriots again, but I really can't. I look at that team and I go, dadgummit, why did you have to go from one of my favorite teams to watch back in 2001 whenever they won the Super Bowl, and I was really young and I was watching football and I was like, wow, Tom Brady's amazing, and he was like a benched quarterback, and then he came out and he won, and then they had the number 1 defense. They beat the greatest show on turf, and now it's
boring.
Now it's just like not boring. It's more of I don't like what I see. I see corruption. I don't see a great solid football team. I see corruption.
I don't know if it's just like I said, where I think that if you're either a Patriots fan or you can't stand them. And I don't know if it's because of that after every season they're like, they look into the Patriots and like, oh, you guys were doing this shady stuff. I don't know if it's because they're just mad about how things ended, or if it's literally every season the Patriots are like, oh, that's not allowed? Well, we can't do that. Oh,
it wasn't expressly said in the rule book that this exact way wasn't allowed.
It's just,
whatever.
And I think it is also, ludicrous to imagine that every NFL team is following every rule. Yeah. I think the only NFL team that's following all the rules is Cleveland, and look where they are.
True. Well, it was like when Deflategate came out, and they were like, we can't believe that they're lowering the pressure in their footballs, and every single quarterback came out and was like, we all do that.
Yeah,
Like, some
and
of us
Aaron
like
Rodgers.
a little,
Aaron Rodgers was like, I inflate my football.
yeah, it's like everybody does that. Like there's a range that like the balls have to be like inflated to, and like some of us like them a little lighter, some of them like them a little heavier. Like
and then
I don't know why this is a big deal.
It was the Colts linebacker who made that interception that said that was one who started this whole deflate gate thing because he felt the ball. He was like, this feels a little deflated. He was like, we could have been playing with bars of soap that day, and we still would have lost.
Oh yeah, because
they got destroyed.
Yeah.
So anyway,
they're gonna start playing with baseball, so it's just
that would be awful.
Yeah. So anyway, moving on.
Mm-hmm.
That's Super Bowl predictions. Who do you think is going to be the Super Bowl MVP? And I swear to God, if it's Brady, I'm going to kill you guys.
Well, if the Patriots win, is it not for Brady?
Here's what I want. I want if the Patriots have to win. I want the
Patriots to win. I want it to go to Amendola.
I want the Patriots. I don't want the Patriots to win. If the Patriots win, I want it to be the way you said it, Joe, and I want Steven Gostkowski to win the Super Bowl MVP.
That'd be pretty cool.
I would love to see the kicker be like, oh, remember in high school when everybody was like, kicker's lame in this position? It's like, oh, rings and trophies and money? What you got now?
No. You stay down there, Tom Brady. I don't. No.
It's like,
put your head
I
down,
kicked a
Tom.
61
come
yard
kneel down here and
bomb.
hold this ball while I kick it.
But even if Brady had a terrible game,
Right.
would it be so bad to tell him for your 6th Super Bowl and possibly, dare I say, his last Super Bowl, they don't give him an MVP award? Because he got MVP in every other one, if I'm not mistaken. Right?
There's one he didn't.
Was that against the Eagles?
Dun, dun,
He
dun.
won in his first 2. He was the MVP.
Right. There's one that he's not, though. I think it was like a defensive player who.
It might have been against the Eagles back.
I don't remember one, but I'm pretty sure he hasn't won MVP. I think there's just one where he was an MVP. I don't like last year is the best example that I can think of. I don't want someone to get MVP because he's the face of the franchise. Because I think MVP should go to the most valuable player.
Yeah.
In last year's Super Bowl, James White was the most valuable player.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody was just talking about, like, this is going to be 5 rings for Tom Brady, and he's going to be tied for most Super Bowl rings that anyone's ever gotten. And
if you
all this
strip
stuff,
the
and it's
name,
like, but he did not deserve the award. Like, he did not.
Right.
There were people who performed better than he did who deserved the award, and they gave it to him because he's Tom Brady, which, good for him that he's, that much of a force and that much of an influence. But
if you strip away the name and number, did the quarterback have the best stats? That's what they should do.
Like, if he throws for 300 yards tonight, and
I don't even know how MVP is. Is it like a committee? Is it?
I don't know who decides.
Stats?
I don't know who decides that. But I mean, like, if he throws for 300 yards tonight, and he has 4 touchdowns to 3 different receivers, give him MVP because he worked his butt off. If he throws for 175 yards,
if Tom Brady has
and 1 touchdown, 2 touchdowns, All right. So, if Tom Brady throws 1 block, give him MVP. Like,
it's like, this is my last game anyways. I'm throwing a block.
Yeah, that'll be his first career block, I'm sure.
I want MVP to go to Derek Barnett. Like I said, I would love for him to, as a rookie, come out and sack the GOAT, quote unquote, because I hate that.
It's like Derek Barnett, or I want to see Nick Foles.
Or Nick Foles.
Win it.
Nick
I want
Foles
to see him get that
bench.
MVP, be like, all right, I'll probably never be the starting quarterback for a team. But I won a Super Bowl, so whatever.
So
Joe Flacco.
I've got the stats here.
Okay.
Brady threw 63 times in Super Bowl 51.
Mm-hmm.
He completed 43 for 442 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he had like 2 touchdowns.
I think it was 2 touchdowns, yeah.
James White had 3 touchdowns, and he rushed for 104 yards.
So Brady played well, but White had the game.
Well, hold on. Rushing 104 yards.
He had a ton of receiving yards, if I remember correctly. Or like 70,
that was the thing. Yeah, he probably had a bunch more receiving yards than
he had the game of his life.
I'm sitting here thinking, like, he had more than 104 yards. I promise you that.
As far as he probably had more than that, but he punched in the game-winning touchdown, a 2-yard touchdown rush, then he caught a pass for like 5 yards for a touchdown.
The 2-yard one was the game-winning. I thought
he punched one. No, he punched one through the middle. There was a toss that.
So that was the one. So the one through the middle was the one that tied it and sent it to overtime.
Yes.
Okay.
No. Yeah, well, yeah, but then they had a 2-point conversion. But yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Cool. I think 43 of 63 for 442 yards is not something to completely downplay. I still believe that James White should have gotten that.
Like, I'm not saying that.
No,
like,
he had a good
just,
game. It's just James White, I think, had a better game.
Yeah, I think he outperformed him.
Right.
Given Tom Brady's position.
If we're counting just touchdowns, then yes. But I think.
Well, I'm not counting just touchdowns. Like,
I don't know.
Right.
He clutched out 3 touchdowns that would not have
it would be
ever
interesting to
happened.
see how many carries there were
Every touch
to
that James White had
pass
could have been
plays.
uncalled. It could have just been Brady reading a defense and saying, "Oh, we have to do this. This is the only way this works."
You're just you're nickel and diming the situation. Really, you're like,
Right.
Did he do this? Did he do that? Like,
Right.
But 43 for 63 is definitely not something to.
It's true.
We'll have
to
James
put
White
down.
on the show next week and ask him what he
what
he thinks.
Yeah, good for you, man.
Anyways,
Okay, we
Free
spent a lot of
agency.
time on this. Let's go to free agency. Something that's a little more
Kirk
exciting.
Cousins is, I think, the talk of the town right now. He
Mm-hmm.
can go anywhere he wants. He can go to the Jets, Cleveland. He can go to the Vikings for all I care. I want him to go to Cleveland. I want to see Cleveland actually have it.
I think the only other team that they've talked to, so like he's talked to Cleveland,
Yep.
he's talked to Denver, and then I think I read something this morning about the Redskins because Alex Smith just went to the Redskins.
Yep.
Like it is confirmed he will be wearing a Redskins jersey next year. But I think if I read this article correctly and I understood it correctly, there's talk of them tagging Kirk Cousins again. So keeping Kirk Cousins and Alex Smith in Washington. Why? I have
Wait,
no
They've
idea.
tagged him
wait.
2 years in a row already.
Right.
Why are you allowed to do that without Kirk Cousins' consent? Like he can just
Pretty
leave.
much, yes.
What?
Yeah, so like if a franchise here's a great example. Le'Veon Bell is going to be a free agency.
Yes.
He has said that if he does not get paid or traded, so Pittsburgh has threatened to franchise tag Le'Veon Bell again, which means that he's not allowed to leave the organization, but he's also the franchise is not obligated to give him RB1 money or give him a top deal. It's to protect the organization to keep their best players, but best player, but still have enough salary cap to be able to go and get more assets for the team.
Right.
So,
Wow, that's
Kirk
terrible.
Cousins has been tagged twice. Oh, finishing
Twice in a
off the
row.
Le'Veon Bell thing. Le'Veon Bell said if he gets franchise tagged, that he's probably going to retire, or he's just going to sit out the entire season.
Yeah.
But going back to Kirk Cousins, he's already been tagged 2 seasons in a row.
2 seasons in a row.
And they keep saying this is a probationary thing. We're going to see if you can actually perform. If you perform, we're going to pay you.
Right.
And they've done this twice now, and he's like, "Where my money? I'm
Right.
playing better
That's
than
terrible.
half these other people out here, but where my money?
Well, we say
why is
it's
that
terrible,
legal?
but he's also a NFL
It's a
quarterback.
business.
No, but that's. You're telling me Matthew Stafford is the highest paid player in the NFL because he didn't get franchise tagged? Why didn't they just franchise tag him? Why wouldn't a team?
Well,
Why
'cause
would a
he-
team
he's
Because
still on
they're
contract.
because they would rather it. I mean, it's a business move. I
That's
guess.
terrible.
I mean, I don't know, man.
That sounds awful.
Stafford's still in his contract though.
Right.
He's
yeah, but he's
obligated.
getting paid so much more.
He's the.
And if he
highest
gets
paid player.
hurt, he still has that contract all throughout that time.
Yeah.
I'm not saying the
And
Lions
if they
are smart.
get rid of him, before that contract gives
gotta
out,
pay.
they gotta pay him.
Yep.
Why are franchise tags? That sounds awful. No wonder Le'Veon Bell feels bad. He's one of the best running backs in the league.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why?
I think his franchise tag is worth $12 million if I remember reading up on it. So it's not a terrible amount of money, but
But it's
he
also
could be
not
making
RB1
so
money.
yeah, that is not Le'Veon Bell money.
No.
Right.
Anyway, good free agent.
Yeah,
Kirk Cousins. I think Denver is a better pick for him, or maybe KC. Unless who's KC getting?
No, they've got
They're
they picked
sticking
up
with
the
Patrick
rookie.
Mahomes.
Yeah,
Oh,
That
okay.
they picked up last year.
they redshirted him.
I would I think Kirk could do good. I think Kirk will do good in either one. I think he's better off going to Denver because they already have assets around him as far as a line, wide receivers, a running back.
Right.
But if he goes to Denver, it'd be the first good quarterback Denver's had.
And
Me either. I don't remember.
he still can go.
Peyton
Manning. He can still go anywhere. He could go
I
to
meant
the Jets. He could
Cleveland.
go to New York.
Sorry.
He could go. I said the Jets. I meant he could go to the Jets or the Giants. He could go literally anywhere.
Yeah.
But moving on, Jimmy Garoppolo. I think he stays in San Francisco.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
Gonna let
San
him go.
Francisco is going to pay him a bunch of money.
Yeah.
Who do you think he's going to be one of the? I think he's going to be probably top 5 most paid players for what he's doing.
I would not be surprised. Going into this coming season, he definitely will have one of the top 5 contracts.
Yeah, that's some
He
money.
might not top 5 contracts of like all
I swear to
time,
God,
but
if they
like,
tag him, I swear to
Right.
God, if they tag that,
They
man,
won't-
that
they
would
won't
make me
tag
so
him.
frustrated.
they won't tag him. Jimmy Garoppolo is glad to be there. He has a
They
starting position.
can't tag him because he went there. The 49ers bought out his contract from the Patriots.
Oh, that's right.
So I don't think they can tag him. I
Plus-
think it's just one of those weird.
Plus, if I'm tagging anybody for the Niners, it's one of my wide receivers.
Right.
Yeah, that sounds awful.
The next is Drew Brees. He's 39. I don't see him trying to go anywhere else. I don't think he probably wants to leave. I don't know if he's
I don't think
even
the Saints want to
playing football for however much
I
longer.
say he plays another year.
Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe he's 39 years old for
Yeah.
one thing. I remember him being like,
Yeah.
I don't know, been in the league for like 2 years. I remember back.
If the Saints are smart, they go on and get their backup quarterback. They draft him this year or something, and they're like, "Here, you're just gonna watch Drew Brees for a year or two."
one more year, yeah.
Yeah,
Pull what Bill Belichick tried to do with Garoppolo,
yeah.
and then got shut down by Robert Kraft. So the 49ers should have a pretty high spot on the draft this year, shouldn't they? They should get one of the quarterbacks that's coming out, shouldn't they?
They should. I'm not sure they'll take him though. Why would you take a quarterback when you got Jimmy
Sorry,
Garoppolo?
my bad. 49ers. I meant Saints.
No, the Saints will have a low pick
Yeah,
because they did so well.
I forgot about that. I was trying to say like, oh, they could get no, they can't.
And then
So-
Maybe they could trade one of their. Maybe they could. Oh wait. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Actually, go
you
ahead.
get Sam Bradford, Case Keenum, and who's the other Vikings? pick?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah.
All 3 go up for free agency.
I'm calling Case Keenum stays in Minnesota. Sam Bradford stays in Minnesota. Teddy Bridgewater gets traded.
See, I
You
think
think
they
they
get
get rid
I
of
think they
Teddy?
get rid of Bradford.
I don't think they get rid of
Bradford.
him. I don't think they can afford him. They can afford Sam Bradford.
I'd say they get rid of Teddy Bridgewater and.
They get
I'm
rid
sorry.
of him.
I'm sorry. I think they keep Teddy Bridgewater because they were gonna. He was the franchise quarterback until he tore his ACL.
Yeah,
Um,
but Case Keenum has proven that he's.
But
not the
everybody,
number one quarterback.
like, we were watching that NFC Championship game, and, like, during all of, like, the pre-game whatever, they were like, Case Keenum's a backup, and that's all he'll ever be is
What
a backup.
are you talking
No, I
about?
I don't know.
So,
That
terrible.
grinded my
They
gears,
will
but-
not. I bet you that if I was the head coach, I would not announce a starting job until literally game 1, just because whoever the 2 you decide to keep, you want them competing and pushing each other until game 1. And you might not even say that this is the starting guy. You just might say, okay, he's starting today, and then if he's like whoever's the best is going to start. That's
Yeah. They're going to play
Yeah.
a different quarterback every single game of the preseason is what they're going to
I
do.
think Bradford got the start in this season, and he played well before he got hurt. Bridgewater was only, I think he took 11 snaps.
Well, he wasn't
Maybe.
healthy until the later end of the season, and when he was healthy, they were like, Case
Yeah.
Keenum's playing right
Yeah,
now.
and Case Keenum was hot. So I
Yeah.
think they keep Keenum and Bradford, and they decide who's going to be the face of the franchise. And I think
You mean
they were-
Keenum and Bridgewater?
I said Case and Keenum, didn't I?
You said Keenum and Bradford.
Bradford.
Yeah.
Are you saying they keep Keenum and Bradford and trade away Bridgewater?
Yes.
Okay,
No.
I thought you. Sorry, I thought you were talking about something.
Man, I'm the lone gunman.
I just don't think they can afford Bridgewater. I think Bridgewater can go. I think Bridgewater would be the one to go to Cleveland.
I don't
I
know
don't
if he
want
goes to
either
Cleveland,
three of them
but-
to go to Cleveland because if either the three of them go to Cleveland, their career's over.
Their career is probably over. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, out of every quarterback we've talked about, I think Bridgewater is the most likely.
Yeah.
because
I think
they don't.
I think
need
he's
him.
leaving.
They don't need him.
No.
No,
They need Keenum. And they can afford Bradford.
Yeah.
It's true.
So they're going to keep him. And even unless Bradford really wants to try another team, I think Bradford's fine sitting on the sidelines. with
And
the Minnesota
again,
Vikings.
we're speculating. We have
Yeah.
no idea what the teams
I
are
do.
thinking. The one that I would think about or talk about is Eli Manning. I think he leaves.
I think Eli Manning retires. If I'm
Yeah.
Eli Manning, after the crap they did to me this season,
Yep.
I'm walking out of that organization, and I'm not even looking behind me.
Took
Like
him-
I'm not saying goodbye to nobody. Like the crap they pulled, and like it's an ego thing where they benched him that one game and they broke his streak of
Yep.
like most consecutive starts
Just
of a
to get
quarterback.
blown out.
Just to get blown out. It's like, why would you do that? Like,
Yep.
where was the sense in doing that?
It's okay. He
Like,
lost his job for it.
Well, I mean, the general manager and the head coach immediately lost their jobs after that game.
Yeah.
But like, if I'm Eli Manning, it's like, yeah, you start me because I'm the starting
Oh.
quarterback. There's a reason you start me.
Oh no.
Our team is
Oh
garbage.
no.
What
Adam Vinatieri.
is going on free agency?
Free agency.
That's not good.
Dude.
the
He'll
freaking
probably
veteran.
he'll
of
probably either
veterans.
retire or stay.
No, I
they
want
tag
him
him.
to play.
Yeah, I did tag him.
They would tag him.
I want him to play.
Dude's like 1,000, still kicks. harder than
They're
anyone
gonna
ever.
there is no way he doesn't, unless he's just like, I don't want to play. There's no way he leaves the Colts, right?
Right, I mean, he still hit the. What was it? He had his certain number of field goals in the season to get his bonus.
Yeah.
He's still hitting that.
Yeah.
Like, he's still hitting that number. It could be because the Colts are not really the best offense.
Because
But,
they're not good.
yeah. It's a good place for him. He gets to
Yeah.
kick all he wants.
Yeah.
Hey, who did? Guys, I've been trying to think on this for what. This is a random question. Tom Brady has 5 rings, right?
Yeah.
I know what 4 of them are, and I can't remember the 5th one. He won against the Falcons, the Eagles, the Panthers, the Rams. What's the 5th one?
Who was it that he came in and won, like off the bench?
That was the Rams.
Okay.
Rams, Eagles, Falcons. Panthers.
I don't know.
What was the 5th one?
No, I almost said 49ers, but
It had to have been recent, right? Because the Eagles, the Rams, and the
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you. I'm sorry. Seahawks.
whoever
Thank
it
you.
was,
Oh, yeah,
had, that,
they had the-
he had
yeah.
the goal line catch.
Yeah. Okay.
Gets up.
Okay. Thank you.
Malcolm
Thank you.
Butler boy.
Thank you.
whatever it was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bouncy.
That was.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah.
Hey, that's all of Tom Brady's things.
Yeah,
that he
anyway,
obviously cares
okay.
so much about.
The
Okay.
last big free agency move that could
Josh
destroy a team. No. No. Jarvis Landry is up for free agency this year.
Man,
He gets.
the
back. He goes
Dolphins
back to the
had
Dolphins.
so much hope. I know it's your baby, but the Dolphins had a lot of hope going into the season.
And then
They keep him.
Tannehill,
Ryan
keep him.
Tannehill dies.
torn a heel, and
Jeez. Oh my gosh.
Honestly, think they'll try everything they can to keep Jarvis Landry.
Did they pick
I
up a
can't see
quarterback?
them not doing it. They're going to draft a quarterback in this draft class.
Okay.
It's a good move.
Which
I was
is
gonna
a
say,
great
if they
move.
don't plan on doing that already, I could see getting rid of Landry to get a better quarterback, but
Dude, if you
they're
get rid of-
already going to get a pretty
Jarvis
high
Landry is
draft
one of
pick.
the
So
best slot receivers,
he won the hands.
period.
He won the All-State good hands, whatever nonsense. It's not
last
supposed
year.
to
He
be
didn't win it
All-State.
this year, but it's because he gave up.
Yeah.
Quitter.
Did just
Odell?
as a I know he's not a free agent this year, but
No.
is he coming up on one?
I don't know.
Or
I
did
don't-
he get like
I
after?
think after his rookie year, they were like, "Hey, can you play for us for forever?" And he's like,
Probably.
Yeah.
"Yeah." And Nike. Yeah.
And Nike, yeah, Nike was like, "Here's a
So,
bajillion dollars."
head
There's like a
No doubt.
curse across all sports. If Nike sponsors you, like you just like weak ankles.
Mhm.
I think it's because they make bad shoes.
Oh, wow.
Under Armour is taking over. This is a
Wow.
completely different topic.
It's a
But
good thing we're not going for that Nike sponsor.
Listen to this. Nike tried to re-sign Steph Curry, and they had another player's name on the PowerPoint. They just forgot to switch it over, and he was like, "Wow, this is really cookie cutter, isn't it?" Went to Under Armour, where he's like the guy.
Yeah.
So he's getting a lot better treatment, and also Under Armour stock doubled that year.
Nice.
Jeez.
Well, stock market's going down.
Man, we
Anyway,
should've bought some stock there.
Yeah, I know.
What?
Someday.
I want to go back on the Le'Veon Bell topic for just a second.
Okay.
So, if I'm seeing this, or if I'm hearing this right, he cannot choose his fate right now. The franchise is choosing his
No, he
fate.
can choose
the
his-
most he can do. The most he can do is retire,
Or he can
not
sit out.
play. That's
I think-
the most he can
I
do.
think if
he can't choose another.
I
team.
think he can not play for like a certain amount of days. I don't think he has to say he's retiring. I think he can just be like, "Oh, my leg hurts. I'm not playing." And they're like, "Okay, blah blah blah." Like, and they will just use him as a trading token, and they'll
Yeah.
give him
It was-
to whoever for more money than what they would get.
Yeah. It's sort of
If they
like
just
what
let him
happened
go.
earlier this season with
Aaron
Barnett.
Rodgers.
No, not Aaron Rodgers.
Where he was hurt
Barnett,
and then
he
with
started
the
that,
tight
though.
end.
And then he went on
They had
IR.
the Green Bay had a tight end from New England, came to Green Bay.
But Bennett, Martellus
Bennett,
Bennett.
that's
yeah.
what. And then Bennett got pissed off because they weren't winning and they weren't playing well and he wasn't getting the ball. So he was like, I don't want to play anymore. Like my legs hurt. I don't want to play anymore. And then he ended up getting traded back to New England.
Yeah.
In his first game back, he's like, oh, I'm sorry. I know how to catch the ball for 2 touchdowns and 89 yards or whatever it is.
I'm
System.
so glad you said that though, because there is a small chance that Aaron Rodgers has to sit out however many games this year.
Well, no, it has to be that he goes to free agency.
He has to
Yeah,
go to free
yeah,
agency.
So they have to
Right.
buy him back.
Right.
Right.
And that's
Because
terrible.
If Aaron Rodgers is not on
I-
that team, Green Bay is Indianapolis.
Right. But I respect Goodell's decision, which is a first
How
for
dare
me.
you?
Yeah. But they got Rodgers back. Probably shouldn't have had him playing anyways. I mean, he's a franchise quarterback. You cut your losses and you move on. You start him next year. But they were like, no, we're going to do it. We're going to win out and make it to the playoffs. They didn't do that. They lost against Carolina. And after suffering no new injuries, they benched him.
No, they put him on IR. That's
Yeah,
the
they
They
thing.
put him on.
injured
They put him on IR
which you
against
can't
Tampa
do.
Bay.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
No, it was in Tampa Bay. Either won or lost a game, and it sealed their deal. That Green Bay
Yeah.
was not making it to the playoffs.
Yes.
And then they're like, "Oh, Rodgers is on the IR," and he
And
didn't suffer
He didn't
a new
have an
injury.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's,
So
And the
Really
rule is
shady.
they automatically that person is automatically supposed to be put up for free agency that instant. But
Right.
they were like, it's Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. We're not
Right.
going to enforce this rule, but we just want you to know we see what you're doing.
right,
well, why did Green Bay put him on IR instead of just bench him?
I don't know.
I don't understand it. I think it might have something to do with money. But
I
I'm
was-
not exactly
Probably.
sure. Maybe Aaron Rodgers gets paid.
much like
if
most
he's-
things in the NFL. Probably had to do with money.
Thank you. True. True. I think it might be because his contract
I'm-
has something in
I'm
it where
sure
if you're
you're
on
right.
IR, you get more money, and maybe he's like, "Hey, I want more money," but I don't know.
Okay,
I was
so-
thinking
I
the
am
other
saying
way.
I
I was
don't
thinking
know.
that they were like, "Oh, if you're on the IR, we don't have to pay you."
Maybe.
Yeah, it might be the franchise loses less money.
Whoever just in Green Bay was just over, oh yeah, it's fine, no problem, and then they didn't look like Rule 617, Chapter 1,
Yeah.
here it is.
It would have been much easier if Rodgers had just been like, "Oh, I fell and I hurt my collarbone."
Well, you have to go to a doctor, so the doctor would have been able to.
You don't think they have a?
Okay, stop with corruption.
You don't think they have a Green Bay doctor? Steven, go out there.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have seen.
Steven goes out there, he's like, I'm your new
I'm a
pharmacist.
pharmacist.
I'm the new pharmacist.
Take these pills, please.
Take these
You're
pills
hurt.
and call me Monday when your collarbone's dislocated.
Anyway. Okay.
Hemingway.
It's everything on free agents. I'm also really mad about Le'Veon Bell. That is
Yep.
terrible that a guy who has
Yeah.
that much talent is getting franchise tag.
Down with
I
the
don't
NFL. Stand for the national anthem.
think- What is the thing about a guy who's revolutionizing the running back role? He's running like no one's ever ran
That's
before.
true. Yeah,
He's
he's doing
literally
phenomenal.
patient burst.
Boom.
And no one does that. Usually people are like "Grrr," running through the middle, and then he's just like waiting, go, and
Yeah.
that's so different.
I mean, he's
And yet he's getting franchise tagged, and he's getting screwed over.
Yeah.
He deserves a $1 million, like $100 million contract.
Oh, easy.
Yeah, he should, but he's not getting it because. Anyway, I can't believe that's a rule in there. That's
Yeah.
really annoying to me. But
it's lame.
yeah, it's like anyway.
Maybe we should
so-
research it and figure out all the other stuff about it. Anyways,
Okay,
Yeah.
well, is that all we want to say on the free agency?
I think so. Let's just hope Jarvis Landry stays with Miami.
I really hope so. I mean, I'd
Let's
hate
get Baker
to see...
Mayfield behind Ryan Tannehill. Let's watch him for a little while.
dude, y'all gotta get Smoking Jay out of there.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't heard a single thing about Jay Cutler since the end of the season, which makes me
He
ecstatic.
probably doesn't know the season's over. He's probably still on cloud nine.
Dude, he probably, as soon as that last game was over, he was probably pads off, shower, duffel, on the Greyhound
Yep.
bus back to wherever he came from.
Yep.
Like,
Back to
Oh,
the
boy.
Truman Show.
yeah, whatever. Back to Fox Sports or wherever he's supposed to have a
I
booth
don't
job. Wasn't he supposed to be with Tony Romo?
He was supposed to, and then.
Oh my gosh.
So
that would
here's
be
the thing.
worst.
That is the biggest mistake because that means that somebody in Miami did not call Tony Romo. They called. I would have loved to have seen Tony Romo in a Dolphins jersey.
No. What happened is like they were in the booth practicing.
Tony Romo's
And-
phone goes off. It's like the Dolphins. Jake was like, "Oh, let me get that for you."
Yeah, Tony Romo like went to go get like a bagel or something.
Right. Jake was like, "This is Romo."
Yeah.
Oh, it's actually not my cell phone. Let me give you my real number.
Yeah. Here, call me back.
Shows up day one. This is too late now. I already signed all the paperwork.
Oh no. Oh, it's so
Some
good.
kid wearing a Dolphins jersey handing the paperwork's like, "Hey, Mr. Romo." Jay Cutler is peering behind sunglasses. "Hey, kid."
Hey kid, I'm Jay
Oh,
Cutler.
jeez.
And that's how the Dolphins signed Jay Cutler.
Yeah. Gosh.
What an
Dang.
inspirational story.
Rest in peace.
All right.
Anyways, thanks for listening, y'all.
Yep. Thank you all for listening to another wonderful football podcast. We hope you all enjoyed it. I know that we did. Next week we got something special for you.
Ooh, boy.
For Jews.
Sir.
Somebody help me out. I can't sign off right now. We have a special podcast for you.
Yeah. It's gonna be
Next week, we have another
a
special
guest.
guest with us. He's going to be talking about some really fun things that I'm honestly not that interested in. So I'm going to be
Oh.
playing the ignorant bystander who tries to poke holes in everything.
All right.
Outside of that, Caleb, Joe, you got anything else you want to add to?
Nope.
announcements?
Like and subscribe.
Oh, dude, yes. Like us on Facebook.
Tell your
subscribe on
friends.
YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. All that good stuff. Let's get But That's Okay out there. And if we don't,
But that's okay.
but that's okay.
I guess. Okay.
Boo.